This can't be all that you are.
Okay, guys, I'm like still working the functions on this podcast with a digital interface, and yeah, I don't know how everything works still. Hi guys, everybody, welcome to season 4. Where's my little applause laughter? What do you want? Let me see. Season 4. Let me try again. Season 4. Yeah. Okay, that was kind of like ugly, huh? Guys, I kind of miss my old interface, which is, you know how funny? Oh my God, every single time I do this, like I sort of like connect the episode with like some random topic that comes out of my head and like I'm talking about it. And like in this point in time, I miss my interface and I still have it. It's like right there in my closet. Like, Kevin, just take it out. But the reason why I didn't take it out is because it looks ugly. It looks absolutely hideous. Being just sitting there, like right here, whatever, on the desk. And like, I don't know if I want to be doing, I don't want to like run the wires and do all of these like ugly things, whatever. It's just, it looks ugly, but it is a great interface and it makes me sound really good. And I'm over here doing a digital one because I simplified my podcast, but I'm like, sometimes simple isn't better. So I might go back. Though I don't want some fat interface like right here in front of my desk. So I don't really know. So if you hear a change in quality, if it sounds weird, it's because of the way that I'm recording right now. But you know what? It's okay. Guys, today's episode, I don't know what the title is going to be, but you know, it's talking about objects in the environment. And I don't know. I sort of talked about sort of a topic like this on season 3. I don't know what episode, so don't come for me, sweeties. She's gay, she can't memorize everything. It was some episode, whatever, and I talked about, I think, my relationship with objects. That's a different topic. What is that topic? That one? I think I was talking about what was I talking about? Oh my God, excuse the noises in the background. Just my relationship with like objects, whatever. It was like talking about how I have like certain emotions, whatever, with an object. And that was like sort of like, oh, like an object can trick. You know, this is so funny because this could be like a part 2 of that episode almost, because you are connecting these two things together. You know, it's your personal relationship with objects, with anything, and then there's the emotions that ensue from an object. I know this is such a random topic, sweeties, but you know, this podcast, it's me diving into a different realm of my headspace here and really diving deep into why in my head, I don't know, and I'm telling the world. So what I mean, and this is the feel, you know, for those of you who probably feel a little bit uninspired or something, I think that is like, that to me, for this, like I'm telling you, I'm giving you an example. This to me is the fuel to my inspiration, if that makes any sense. Oh my God, I should write that down as an episode thing, sweeties. It's like diving deep into some random question like this or something like that. Fuels this sort of topic. Like the other day I was like watching something and like this lady was talking about objects and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, I want to write this down because I think that would be such a great topic, because I love diving into some kind of random thing like this, and so here we are talking about it. So I don't know, anyways, I went to a little tangent there. Hi, peoples. So yeah, objects. So that other episode in season 3 was talking about how like we have emotions connected to our like certain objects. Like for example, somebody gave me something as a gift, um, and when I look at it, I can bring back that memory, whatever. And I was talking about that. This one guy took a picture of this shirt, whatever. He had this shirt from like, I think high school or like college. And it was just taking up space, physical space, in his environment. And so what he did is he wanted to tidy up. He wanted to Marie Kondo this, and he wanted to clean up. And so he decided to put his shirt that was, people scribbled on whatever. They wrote a bunch of like stuff, kind of like a yearbook situation, but with the shirt. He put it in the closet and he tested himself to see if he would forget about it. And what he noticed is that the emotional connection and memory connection was there, but he didn't care about the physical of the object. So he threw the material, he got rid of it, he threw it in the trash. Well, before he did, he took a picture of it and then he threw it away. And so when he wants to see it, he just pulls up the picture. And so that was such a great idea. Like if you like are struggling with like objects like that, take a picture of it, put it away. If you don't need it, throw it away, and you now have all the, you have the picture and the memories connected to it, but you have the picture to look at. You don't need the physical object taking up space in your life. And so, an example I could bring in, is that, my ex, whatever, he gave me some stuff, right? And like, there's some things that I obviously got rid of, but, it's sort of like a letting go situation, but like in a peaceful way. But there's some stuff still in my room currently right now. Let me see. I think there's like 2 things right here right now. Yeah, there's 2 things in my room right now in front of me that he gave me. And I could like stare at it right now, like I'm looking at an object right now that he gave me. And like I could bring up those memories. And yes, sometimes it's sad and things like that. But and that's in different situations. But like currently right now, for example, I can look at it and I'm like, oh, I remember when he gave me that. But it's a part of my decor, whatever, and so that's sort of like something like I'm not going to get rid of it because like it's functional and like I use it and things like that. So anyways, it's right there. And like, that's sort of an example of like something that you have like an emotional connection to. But what I mean in this episode with like objects in the environment is something that I wanted to bring up because it's something that I go through maybe daily because I live in it and that is my room. So even before when I was in like my old house, whatever, my room was this crazy place, whatever. Like everybody would walk in and they're like, what the hell? Like, this is crazy. Like, what is this? Like, guys, I literally had, and those of you who know me knew, I had like these cotton whatever thingies hanging on the ceiling with like fishing line. So it was like completely invisible and they looked like clouds. So I literally had clouds in my room. Like it was just so like Wonderland. Like you had clouds on the ceiling. Like it was this weird place. I just wanted, I'm a very imaginative person and I wanted to really design like that. Like I just wanted to like have some elevated mood to my room because it felt so boring. One day I woke up and I'm like, I hate the ceilings. Why is it so plain? My room is just so plain. And at that time I was in a rented house and I couldn't like puncture holes in a wall. So I would just use things like mounting putty, which you can buy at the stores. I highly recommend it. Mounting putty and command strips. Oh my God, I still use command strips right now. A lot of the shit that I have in my walls are hung up by command strips. So I can easily remove them, move them around or completely remove it without any holes in the wall. And it just makes it for easy cleanup. Hashtag not sponsored, people. But highly recommend mounting putty and command strips. I believe like a lot of teachers, whatever, use mounting putty because that's like so easy to put like posters up without having to like ruin the wall. Anyways, so long before, my room has been what I like to call an extension of me, and so that could be like a whole topic, but I don't think I might. I don't think I'm gonna do that. It's a place that I created an environment for me to be at peace, whatever. And I have this sort of relationship to my room, because my room is like me. It's like my personality, my brain, laid out into the space. And I think it's interesting because in a psychological standpoint, your room could really show a person. I'm not saying to everyone, but your room could really be like that indicator of somebody's mental space. If that makes any sense. It does make sense. But your room could literally show you that something is wrong. I knew somebody, and if this person is listening to this episode, I'm not here to attack, sweetie. But this was the truth. This person had what they called a depression room. They called it that. They called it a depression room because, and I might talk about this later, but in a separate episode, but like they were very unkept, but like it was such simple tasks, which was sort of weird to me because, like, for example, the trash bin, whatever that they had in their room was completely filled and overflowing. And their kitchen trash was so close. In my world, it was very close. It was just like you just walk a few steps and you throw it in the trash, And I was always telling this person, like, why don't you just throw this away? And it's just so weird to me. Like, I still look back and I'm like, I don't understand why this person never threw away these things. Like, it was just like piling up in their trash. And it's like, I'm talking about like used bottles, cans, like even food just sitting there. And I'm like, why? If my trash is even a bit overflowing, I immediately throw it away. So that was sort of an example. Like, it was, their room was sort of unkept, and when they tried to they organized it, but then when I would come back, it was a mess again. And I do know that this person's mental space might have been a little bit, not great at the time. And I wonder how they are right now. And if you're listening to this, I really hope that you are doing way, way better. I know you are. I know you're doing way better. But I wish I could see like how you're doing. Me using you as an example to everyone, but like, it's true, cause like, I don't know anybody. Well, I might know somebody else, but like, that was like sort of that really like impactful, like awareness of that sort of headspace being part of the room, whatever. And so, I had people compliment my room, and I compliment my room like to myself too. I'm like, oh my God, I love this so much. I think, to dive a little bit deep in that, I remember like planning this current room that I have right now. And it's so weird because I was, guys, I was so at peace with what I had as the design in my room before. Like, it was such a simple, like, I think I have a picture on my Instagram. You can follow me. It's in the description. But in one picture, it's not showing the whole room, but in one picture, there's like my desk, and it's so plain. Like, the walls are plain, the desk is plain, my little cabinet, nothing. And then there's like another story that I had. I don't think it's up, but I was looking at it, and my room is just so simple, like really minimal, very minimal compared to how it is now. But it's so funny because at the time, I was at complete peace with that environment. And maybe it was because, I love to think that right now, like I'm thinking, like I love to think that my room at that time was really like, that's the headspace that I had. It was like this complete new slate for me. And because I came out like in 2015, whatever. And then we moved and all that. And like, you know, there was this new refreshness in the family, I guess, like even, you know, with my parents and everything. And so I love to think that my room at that time, though minimal, was really showing an extension of who like my headspace was and my relationship with who I was at that time. And you look at my room now and it's filled with a lot of personality. There's a lot of this sort of growth aspect to it. You know, I'm talking about, I have plants now, like a lot of them. I have, you know, decor. There's a lot of these things that I have in my room now that are very, it's clean, but like a lot, but in a very like, I don't know how to, like a peaceful way. Those that know how my room looks like, they know what I'm talking about. And you know what's funny is that I took a picture of my room and posted it on my Instagram, and then weeks later it's already different from what it looks like in the photo. So like it's always changing. So I might take another photo one day and like post it, you know, because it's already updated to a different look now. But that's, you know, that could just show you like, I don't know, I like to think that that's, you could really show like the progress of my upbringing. Not that I'm finished, like everyone's always changing, but it shows you like, you know, it used to be this clean slate and then it just changed. And then I would, you know, ever since my relationship ended, whatever, there was this other shift in my room, and maybe, and you know, obviously my head space was different too. So I love to think that the way that I incorporated some stuff in my room is that change in perception that I had. Like, for example, now I have this little thing, right? I'm looking at it right now. It's like next to my desk, and it's my favorite quote, but I had to like remove some words because it like doesn't fit, but it says universe of peace and happiness. Like, you know, like that's so, it's like a live, laugh, love moment for the gays. You know what I'm talking about? It's I know it's so cheesy, but like universe of peace and happiness. And then like I have like they almost look like sound boards, like to like like to remove sound, but like sound absorption, but it's these cork boards. And I have a picture of my niece and my other, what is she to me? Like my cousin or whatever, and like all of these things. And it's like there's personality in the room. So that was another shift in perception for me too. But what I wanted to really say to everyone, the audience who is listening, is that see the environment as a place filled with relationships. And what do I mean by that? Like, I mean, hold on, let me like fix this sort of thing. So the environment is filled with different segments that you have a relationship to. And that is something that you should separate. It's not that I'm saying you should connect them, like they should blend in. I'm saying that, for example, in my room, I have this little section where I'm at right now. I'm sitting at my desk and I'm recording this podcast. But this section in my room is my desk, and it's a zone, a separate zone for anything to do with schooling, you know, my school at the time, podcasts, and any kind of work related thing, you know, because it's my desk. But this zone, though, it's blended and very, I don't know, I really designed my room where it's like, I have my desk and then like my cabinet and my light. It's separating my work environment, if you would want to say, from my room. There's this very clear separation, but it looks blended. If you really have a keen eye for design, especially interior design, you probably would notice this separation of my work environment to my room, and so to the rest of my room. And so what I'm saying for the audience is that try to keep everything in separate zones in the house for a purpose. You know, obviously you have like your kitchen. Your kitchen is specifically for like making food and things like that. And then you have your dining room, which you eat and, you know, stay together, family bonding. your living room, that's like a leisure lounge, situation. And then you have your bedroom. Like those are sort of zones and separations. But what I could say is like I know this, like it ties into like the other episode, whatever, in season 2 is that the relationship with the things that you have. And it's very important because your room needs to be, I love to say that your room needs to be a place where you feel at peace and you have this safe zone that you've created. And if it's not like that, then I would consider looking around and evaluating the problems and try to fix that. Make your space like peaceful and like for you. If your place is not like making you happy, then change that. Like there's something, I know that's like, maybe for some it's not like super easy to do that, but like in my world I'm like trying to like really, I'm trying to like explain this like correctly, but I hope I'm like saying it correctly to the audience. Like for example, my bed is where I sleep and the couch is where I watch TV. So separate the zones for a purpose, just like how my desk is, for my schooling and stuff like that. Guys, I really feel like I completely ran out of my words here in this episode. And I think that is my cue to end it. But I hope you took away sort of my perspective and those sort of things. And it's sort of those are the topics that really get me a little bit excited or like keep me going. And it's like questions that I have on a daily with like random things like that. I know it's so random. Maybe it's just like my gay brain or something. Anyways. So yeah, let's like end the episode. Oh my god, this is so exciting. Guys, thank you for listening to season 4 of my episode here, season 4 of my podcast. And this episode, I really don't know what episode it's gonna be. Yeah. Did I even do an intro today? I don't think I did an intro. I didn't talk about the many sides of me, but whatever. All right, guys. What was I gonna say? Make sure you check out the show notes and give me a follow. And if you haven't already, rate my podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, everywhere you listen to. All right. See you then, guys.